Hello Internet, my name is Scott from Chris&Knight Gaming and I'm here to review a game. Now, in the past few years I've been pretty unsure where the Legend of Zelda franchise has been going. It's definitely one of the best series of games, definitely in my opinion, but I feel like they're sort of straying a bit too far from what made them so great in the first place. However, indie publisher Ludosity, makers of the game Magica, have just recently come out with a new game which aims to recreate everything that made the 2D Zelda titles so great.
Ittle, the action parody adventure which takes the formula that made Legend of Zelda, shortened it out, and nitpicked it at every way that made Zelda questionable. How? For a start, they make fun of how Link eats hearts from the freshly slain enemies that ever felt the wrath of his sword. But that's for later. Little do as you follow the story of a young girl by the name of Ittle, who has nothing but the sense of adventure and the urge to beat the living hell out of everything that crosses her path. To aid her on her quest for treasure and excitement is Tipsy, the fairy fox thing that quite frankly couldn't give a shit over actually giving you motivational advice.
Together we have this duo set up for the ultimate adventure, nothing but a mysterious island and the hope of treasure and dreams ahead of them. What could go wrong?
Well, the first sign of life they actually find on the island, other than a fish thing that looks a lot like Perry the Platypus and a sentient barrier, is Ittle Carver, the carver, who claimed to have carved not only everything in his house, but even the house itself, which was supposedly carved from a toothpick. Nonetheless, he charges you with the sole quest of raiding the castle to the north and bringing back an artifact. In return, he'll carve you a raft to get off the island.
How's that for a storyline? No kings, no princesses, no ancient evils needing to be quelled. Just go to a castle, kill everything, get the treasure, get the artifact. Pretty simple, right?
Well, getting around the castle is one thing. However, you'll notice eventually that there are a few things that you can't do just waving your stick. And that's where Ittle comes in. What you need to do is go through the castle, get past all the guards and get the gold. With the gold, you can go to Ittle and buy the weapon upgrade, such as a fire sword, and then it'll catapult you to where you can get one.
Catapult you? Oh, you just bought it? Well, no. Ittle just carved those items on display out. He doesn't actually have them, you have to go get them out yourself.
And so he sends you to the item dungeon, a dungeon where you specifically get the item you just bought and fight through the puzzles and enemies and fight a boss at the end. And each item will help you progress even further in the castle and get to the artifact.
Of course, this is just the start.
Well, kind of. Now once you've painstakingly gotten all the items and worked your way through the dungeons and most of the castle, now it's just a matter of getting through the rest of the castle. The puzzles get harder as you go along, and the enemies more notorious. Fortunately though, there are 7 warp points throughout the castle that can be accessed through the warp garden behind Ittle's shop. There are also what the game calls professional shortcuts that let you skip through a large portion of the castle if you're able to do the seemingly impossible puzzle, which requires absolute knowledge of what your items can do and how they work. No worries on not knowing what to do though. Smack the door or barricade you're trying to get through and the game will show you exactly what needs to be pressed, hit or killed. What's that, old man? A hint? Yeah, they even made reference to the old man from the first Zelda game. Only this time you can set him on fire and watch him explode.
All in all though, it's a really well thought out game, and even though the controls bring it down a bit, it's still got so much thought put into it. Even when Ittle at the end of the game reveals the island's dark secrets, and furthermore, this is the final boss.
Yeah, spoiler alert, but it turns out Ittle made the island for adventurers to come to and have fun adventuring, but keeping all the gold for himself. This involving carving the castle out of a tree stump. But yeah, defeating him, claim the artifact.
It's my dick in a box.
Go back to Ittle and he'll craft your raft, and that's the end of the game. But don't go yet. Now that you've finished the game, and assuming you have all 4 items, you can now take on the Master Cave. 12 puzzles that you stretch your brain so far up the wall, unless you're actually pretty smart, but I'm still stuck at the 4th puzzle. Also dotted around the world are cards that you can collect that provide lore and information about the characters they represent. This is some funny stuff. I recommend just reading through all of it. Even after you've done your best to do that all, there's still a load of Steam achievements that involve different ways of finishing the game on other playthroughs. Also, feel like racing yourself? Go to the options and turn on the timer. There's achievements for that too.
And I love this game, and I'm still going at it. I'm horrendously trying to get past level 4 in the Master Cave. Jeez, the level of difficulty just shot up. And for €10 on Steam, I'd definitely say that's really worth it, especially considering how much you'll be playing it. I really recommend it to anyone in the Zelda fanbase, and anyone who's new to the puzzle action adventure genre. It's just amazing. I'm Chris&Knight from Chris&Knight Gaming. Cheers.